What is going on, everyone? Hayden Davidson here. Welcome and thank you for joining me on the channel. I'm going to talk about something that I've never spoken about before on YouTube. Relationships. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, what the hell, what on earth is Hayden Davidson doing talking about relationships? I've only ever really had one real relationship, and even that I was really young. Other than that, I've been with a few women, but I've never had a proper in-depth relationship. Now, I thought it would be interesting coming from that perspective, coming from someone that has never had an in-depth, proper relationship, mature relationship since I've been older. I thought it would be a really interesting video and topic for me to look and talk about other relationships that I see from the outset and what I've actually learnt from not being in a relationship. And I do think people that are tied down in a relationship and have been for years could be missing out on these sorts of things. So let me just run through that. Firstly, what I see in other relationships sometimes. Now, this is certainly not all, but what I see in relationships from the outset as someone that's been single and that's been working on my personal development and my own businesses and etc. for quite some time now, about 5 years. Although I do get lonely for sure, and I sometimes think to myself I would love a relationship, I don't regret not having a relationship whatsoever. Because let me tell you, I would never, ever be in a relationship where I didn't feel that passion, that love and that drive and the all of this, polarity, etc. I wouldn't be in a relationship unless I had that constantly. Now, I understand that you have to work on relationships and that, that they're not just going to be there and you've got to work on them. But hey, what do I know? What I see from the outset is people that are in relationships and they're not actually very happy. People in relationships because they're comfortable. And I feel like people are missing out on so much personal development, personal discovery and personal enjoyment and actually missing out on going down different angles, different routes in their life within personal development, within whatever field they're actually interested in, whether that's in business, whether that's in your diet. Just give you an example, maybe you want to go vegan, but you're interested in it, but your partner would never even think about it, so maybe you wouldn't bring it up. Perhaps you've always wanted to start a business, but your partner doesn't want to, so you would never bring it up. Perhaps you want to go traveling, but your partner doesn't want to, so you don't bring it up. Or you've brought it up and it didn't go very well, so now you're settling down. Now, there's things that I believe that are deeper, that you need to go within yourself sometimes. Sometimes it's quite a depressing thing to do, but sometimes I've had to sort of be in solidarity with myself, where I've had to just isolate myself and actually go within myself to understand what issues I'm having. And they're the sorts of things that I don't think you get in long-term relationships or sometimes in relationships unless you've done that initial work beforehand. So what I see from the outset, as I originally mentioned, was that people don't seem happy. People seem to be in, and obviously this isn't everyone, and obviously some people have gone in and out, or beforehand they've done this inner work. But I feel like the people that have missed out the inner work, which I'm going through or have been through or others have been through, those that miss that out and jump straight into relationships, one another, I can see that is the issue, that they're not understanding. I can see that they're thinking to themselves, maybe it's even subconscious, but they're not happy. They are in that relationship because it's a comfort zone. They're in that relationship because they're comfortable, because they couldn't imagine life without their partner, even though life might be better and most probably likely would be better without that partner. I see a lot of people, men and women, that are in relationships with each other because of their comfort zone. And once again, you miss out doing that and just putting yourself through that mental trauma every single day, every single week. Even though you may have glimpses of happiness, I don't think there's deep inner love there. And even if there is, maybe there's only a tiny bit of love and it's not actually love. And hey, I may be completely wrong here, but this is what I see. And I think a lot of other people see it as well. I think what they are missing, the people that are like that, is that they haven't done the inner work. They haven't done the inner personal development. They're not discovering life as much as they'd like to because they're being held back, whether they are even conscious of it or not. And I think that there's a lot to be said there, and I think people need to stand back and go, is this relationship right for me? Do I need to work on myself first? Personally, I haven't been in a relationship for a few years, and I am not in one now, even though I've had a lot of conflict wondering why not. I now know why now. I know why not, because I don't feel ready. I still don't feel ready for a relationship because I feel like, not that I don't deserve it, but I feel like I want to be in a really powerful relationship. I want to know who I am. I want to fill in all the gaps in myself first, that I'm not bringing my issues and my troubles towards another woman. I'm filling myself in and I'm building the business that I want. I'm working on my personal development, filling in my holes, and then I'm going to be ready. I'm doing the personal development before, I'm doing my business work before, I'm doing it all beforehand, so that then afterwards, after I've gone through these stages in life, personal developed myself, worked up in whatever field I want to work up in, then I feel like I can take a step back and then go into a relationship once I've done that inner work. Now, I'd love to know your comments, what you think, so chuck it in the comments, and that is the end of the video. So